Happy New Year! I'm 250 miles away from Moscow, or 500 kilometers. Russian measured distances in kilometers. And I'm going to the convenience store for some grocery shopping. And I'm going to talk more about salary in Russia, about taxes in Russia, utilities, and all that stuff that you are asking for, because some of you already subscribed and have seen my videos about prices in grocery stores and different supermarkets. So now let's talk more about other things that average Russian people spend their money on. And let's see another place, Peterочка, which is a chain grocery store. They are usually located all over Russia in different uh, apartment buildings or on major streets where many people live. So usually they are in walking distances of any houses. Why I call these grocery stores poor? Because it's usually people who average people go here, or sometimes people who don't really have money go here, because in Russia there are more stores that have more imported goods, and a lot of stores that have a little bit more expensive prices, not like crazy expensive, but a little bit more. So these places are for average or even poor people. So stay with me and watch this video till the end. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. So this is one of these stores, and it's not too many apartment buildings here. So usually people from this one come in here. This store is opened every day. Today is January 2nd, so it's opened, but not 24 hours. Some of these Peterочка stores are open 24/7. Some big carts, smaller carts. I rarely take cards because I come to stores pretty much every day. I have a lot of them around me. This store is also in a walking distance from my apartment building. And here, right away, you can get ready to go food, and you can microwave it. Also, you can buy coffee and you can eat it right in the store. You can also charge your phone if you need. All these outlets work. In compare with New York, where I just came from this summer, it's really hard to find a place where you can charge your phone. Sometimes they have these outlets, but they are broken for reason, because they don't want people to sit, especially homeless people, to sit there and charge their phones. As you see here, no one is sitting, no one is homeless, and it's pretty hard to find homeless people in Russia nowadays. So all these ready to go things are here, different dishes, even some sushi, traditional Russian salads, and some meat products. Everything you can just microwave and eat right away. And I think you see prices here, soups. So this is very common for this store. Some shelves are empty because people just celebrated New Year's Eve. Not too many people here as well, because there are too many of these stores everywhere, and especially on holidays, people usually buy something before, or they just order. The weather isn't that great in winter, of course. So donuts in dollars, it would be actually cents. It would be 59 cents. All these prices are obviously in rubles, and this is all fresh made produce here. They bake it right in the store, and usually they bake it every 3 hours in this store because a lot of people buy it. It's ready to go as well. Bread, people buy it a lot. And someone was asking me about the cost of the loaf of the bread, so 49 cents. But this is pretty expensive because it's freshly baked. Some people get something less expensive. Let's say this one is 39, pretty big loaf for 39 cents. Or you can even find something cheaper sometimes. These halves for 18 cents. So, yes, some people in Russia don't make too much money, just $500 if they are uneducated and they work in a grocery store like this one. They can make just $500 per month. It's enough, however, in Russia. But some of you say, oh, in Europe, it's nothing. Once again, it depends what country of Europe you're talking about, because there are some poor countries in Europe where people make even less than 500 per month, and their expenses are much bigger than in Russia. Uh, However, people in the UK or France don't even have grocery stores around sometimes. That's what I'm referring to, Western countries. And their expenses are pretty big. So in Russia, yes, there are some people who get, for example, some elderly people who never worked in their lives for paycheck. Their retiring check per month could be just $200. But these people, or especially these people who make less than $200, they get different support from the government. So they usually get support for utilities, at least for utilities, and their utilities would cost them after government support just $5. But regular people who work, who don't get any social benefits, they pay for utilities around $50 per month. Sometimes with a bigger house, it can be up to $100 per month. But average apartment, normal size, with one bedroom, uh, usually costs you $50 per month. Everywhere in Russia, doesn't matter here in Tambov or in Moscow. I used to live in Moscow and I paid the same amount for utilities. And if people actually worked in their lives and had some decent jobs, at least in the grocery store or something like that, they usually get retirement checks for 500 to some people, yes, like 300, $400 per month. But some even 500. For example, I have my uncle who worked for police, and his retirement check now allows him to rent apartment. He owns apartment, but he rents in the other place. So because he gave the one that he owns to his wife after divorce, so it's pretty manageable. But this situation is pretty weird because usually Russian people own places, especially if they're elderly, and they don't have to pay rent. Usually people who rent are students or people who move from one city to another, or some strange exclusive situations like that one. But even after divorce, people get two separate apartments. So it's uncommon for Russian people to um, pay rents. But if you pay rent in my city, let's say you're a student, usually one bedroom apartment would be um, 20,000 rubles, which is $200. $200. Okay, you pay for your rent, but you still have 300 left if you work in a grocery store and you're a student. So it's less than half of your salary. um, and I'm not saying that Russia is that great and people afford a lot of things, but I have never heard of people um, who can't afford food here. Even all these elderly people with miserable paycheck, retirement checks of like $200. Okay, yes, they are here, they are present. There are some people like that, but they can afford this food. You see, the prices are like in cents. These are traditional Russian desserts made out of cottage cheese, and a lot of cottage cheese products in this store, like in every Russian store. Cottage cheese is here. Also, cottage cheese like this one that is soft, 39 cents. Cottage cheese is usually made out of just pure milk and vinegar, and that's it. So it's very pure source of protein. I always take it. But I didn't come here for shopping. I just came here to show you the store on January 2nd. Not too many people here, so it's very nice time to make a video. Very convenient, no crowds. And this store is pretty big, so I can show you different produce. As you can see, about taxes, some of you had a question about taxes. So income tax, average income tax is 13%. So if you make 500, 30% would be your income tax. If you're self-employed, your tax is even less. It's 6%. I am self-employed and I pay just 6% of what I make per month. Housing tax, you pay it in Russia just once a year, in the end of the year. And for this month, for this year, I paid 1,000 rubles, which is $10 housing tax. So yes, 500 isn't that great when you think um, about living in the UK or in America or even in Italy. But for Russians, it's pretty much enough because their expenses are also different. And if you try to count all these things, you will understand that 500 is pretty much enough for food and other things. So usually people who complain in Russia are people who never been somewhere else, first of all, because they have nothing to compare with. And also people who um, complain, they say something like, oh, I cannot get a new car. Of course, Russians rarely get like new car every year, even rich ones. Uh, or some people say like, oh, I want more money for renovations of my apartment, or I want like to buy a new apartment, nicer apartment, more modern apartment, things like that. But Russian people um, don't complain about getting food. Even elderly people, I have some in my family, so they sometimes buy cola too. They sometimes drink alcohol, not every day, of course, but they can afford candies and all these things that are even more expensive than regular fruit or vegetables and meat. Of course, they eat meat too and seafood. It's, you see, if they sell it here, that means some people buy it. Maybe not every day, not everyone, but people buy it. A lot of alcohol right in a grocery store. And some of you also listen to other Western propaganda, probably from neighboring countries. Um, I recommend you not to listen to those people, listen to those who at least are in Russia now, um, because a lot of fake news now in Western media. So some people say that we don't have butter in Russia. That's very fake because I'm gonna show it to you while I'm here. Because in Russia, usually we have our own cows, we have our own milk, and we make our own butter. We don't need to import it from somewhere. We are not lacking butter. Uh, I'm gonna show it to you now. Also, we have some imported goods even in these poor grocery stores. Of course, Lays are present. Of course, cola, but Russian branded cola. Of course, some even imported beers, like German beers or Czech beers, Życiecki Guś, Spaten, Garden, Garden, Garden. Yes, sorry, I don't drink too much beer. Stella Artois and all that. Uh, let's go to the butters, and then I'm gonna finish this video because I think I explained you pretty much everything here. So this is, it should be somewhere here. Oh no, different shelves. Here is just cottage cheese and milk. It's around cheeses. So let's go there. You know, probably someone made that fake video. They just went to that shelf with milk and showed that just milk but no butter. But it's on different shelf. That's it. That's how they make videos. They make a lot of contact in our neighboring countries just to say something bad about us. So all these are butters, starting from this one is for 226 rubles, which would be two dollars 26 cents, and this is 200 grams, Russian measure in grams. So it would be like um, four, more than 400, yeah, 400 pounds, whatever you measure it. But kilogram is twice more than pound, basically. So all this is butter, this is butter, this is different types of butter. Here is coconut, we call it butter too, but here's like coconut oil, um, very common in Russia as well. Here is chocolate butter. This one is chocolate butter, which is even less expensive. And all this is butter, so no problems with butter, as you see, no other problems. Of course, there are always some problems, you know, when you live. All lives have problems, but I try to stay positive, and I try not to listen to people who like to lie, who like to play wars and all that stuff. So I'm trying to show you real situation here. We have all chocolates, we have all candies. It's just you know, you have to work and you have to make money. That's it. And thank you, those of you who appreciate my work as a blogger. And thank you very much for your support. You can always get paid subscription to watch more exclusive videos and join exclusive lives just for paid subscribers. But even if you are liking me here, that's a great support as well. Once again, Happy New Year and have a great day. Bye.